Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Cruz and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to give you my first impressions on Line 6's HX Stomp's new Dynamic Reverb. But before we get started, please do all of the things that help this channel grow. Like this video, comment and subscribe below, and hit the bell icon so you get an alert every single time I upload a video. And if you're interested in donating directly to the channel, please see the link in the description box below. Without further ado, let's get started. So I have a little bit of a confession to make. I'm not the kind of person that is constantly looking for the latest firmware of the products that I own. More specifically with the HX Stomp, I don't think in fact I've even updated my HX Stomp since its initial sort of like first upgrade, and I know that the firmware has been updated, and yeah, they've done a lot of stuff, and I've just kind of opted out because, to be honest, I don't really care for it. Once I found the sound that I was happy with, I didn't really want to change anything. Don't mess up my sounds. But recently, someone messaged me on Instagram asking me my thoughts on the brand new Dynamic Reverb. In fact, how new is it? I don't even know. It could very well have been out for a long time, and I just never even knew about it. I know, I'm the absolute worst. You know me, I love reverb. I love the ambient tone, so when he said there was a new reverb out, I had to see for myself, or listen for myself rather. So I did all of the techie stuff already. I've upgraded or downloaded everything I needed to download to be up to date, and now I have the Dynamic Reverb loaded in to my HX Stomp. One of the first things that I'm going to mention is that I've always had a hard time listening to certain sounds because I decided to use so much out of the Stomp. What I mean by that is that I have 2 amps going into an IR, then going into a 10-band EQ, then I'm using delays, reverb, and it's just maxing out all of the, I think they call it the CPU or whatever it is. I've maxed out pretty much the allotted space that I could have on the HX Stomp. Now, though I can add more pedals technically from an actual, like, I guess CPU standpoint, I can't afford it. There's just nothing left. So on my normal Cruz project patch, I can't actually try out the Dynamic Reverb. So I had to create a new Cruz project sound, and what I basically did was eliminated one of the amps. So this is what I got without any reverb or delay. For the most part, I don't feel like there's too much of a difference. If anything, there's a little bit more clarity. It could just be that I lost some bottom end from the 2 amps. I'm not getting quite of a full sound. I'm not quite sure if I like that or don't like that yet, but for the purposes of listening to this reverb, I don't think it's going to really affect me all that much. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I just want to really hear what this reverb actually sounds like. So I'm going to play it as is. I'm not going to make any alterations, and I just want to give you my first impressions and see if this is a reverb that I'd even be interested in using. For reference, I'm going to go back to my normal Cruz project sound so you could hear all of the ambient tones that I typically get from my normal tone, and then I'm going to compare it to some of the reverb sounds that I'm getting now from the new Dynamic Reverb. So first, let's go backwards. I'm going to show you the Cruz project sound. So for me, that sound is a very usable, lush sound. It's definitely ambient and more towards the heavy reverb and delay side, but I think it's still very, very usable, and it sounds beautiful in my opinion. I love it. I have no complaints. In fact, up until I got this comment from this Instagram message or whatever it was, I haven't been able to stop thinking about, well, what if the other reverb sounds better? So we're going to try it out. So for now, I'm not going to put on delays. I just want to hear what the new Dynamic Reverb sounds like immediately as is, me not altering anything. Let's check it out. My first thoughts is that it seems definitely very, very warm. I think that, to be honest with you, had this reverb already been loaded into the HX Stomp, I would have never probably used the glitz reverb. From what I'm hearing, it just seems like the dynamics of what I can possibly get from this reverb immediately starts hitting closer to home a lot faster than the glitz reverb did. I knew that I could transform the glitz reverb, but it feels like I have a better starting point with this reverb right here. So I'm just gonna throw on my dual delays and see what kind of sounds that I get, and then I'm gonna go back to my original sound to compare, and we'll take it from there. So I don't know, that's hitting pretty close to home. I have to say I'm very impressed with this reverb. It sounds clean, just as clean as any of the other stuff that I was using with the HX Stomp, but it has the warmth and the ambience thing that I was always looking for. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I've never been the kind of person to just love straight up reverb. I've always loved the idea of ambient reverb, specifically like products like with the Strymon, what they came out with in their version of reverb, or like that cloud setting on the big sky. That to me was the kind of reverb that I personally wanted, which is like not typically found in like your reverb tanks or amps. It's like a digitalized version of all that. It's this enhanced, very fluffy ambient thing. I like that. That's what I want. That's what I do. That's what's in the world of what I normally play. So I'm attracted to that type of sound. And though this reverb seems to be hitting more so like a normal reverb, there is something extremely ambient about it. I love the settings that it gives you, the stuff that it is allowing you to alter. I'm just gonna make a quick couple of tweaks. I'm gonna extend the decay just a little bit, a hair more. I'm gonna bring up some of the high cut so that it introduces a little bit more presence into the reverb. Though I like warm reverb, it's slightly a little too dark because it's going away and getting pretty lost pretty quickly. And I might just boost the level up so I can hear it a little bit more. So let me do that real quick and then we'll see what it sounds like. Alright, I don't know if you can hear the difference. To me, it sounds a little more lush already, a little more on the ambient side. Let me throw delays back into the mix so we could hear it, and then I'm going to immediately compare it to my old settings, because there's a slight chance that I might switch over to this sound altogether. I don't know, but let's just throw some delays on and see what this all sounds like. I think I'm in love. I'm not gonna lie. Now, first impressions, this thing is killing right now. I don't know. I feel like I struggled more with the glitz, even though I love what I ended up getting out of the glitz reverb. I love the end outcome. I didn't love it at first. In fact, I expressed that, and I'll link the video up here where I talk about the glitz reverb. Yeah, I didn't love it at first. I think it was a struggle to get to where I got it. Ultimately, to get it to that ambient kind of lush sound, a lot of tweaking. Whereas to this one, I did very, very minor tweaking to the already existing sound, and I pretty much didn't touch it from there, and it sounds fantastic. So I'm definitely loving this, and not to mention, I think it's also that I'm hearing a little bit of a dynamic difference because I don't have the dual amp thing happening. I'll link that in over here as well, where I talk about how I use 2 amps going into 1 IR from my original sound. And if you do want to know about the delays that I'm using, I also have a video on that I'll link right here on the dual delays that I'm incorporating into both sounds right now. So very quickly, let's go back to my original Cruz project sound, where I'm using the dual delays but the glitz reverb as opposed to the dynamic reverb, and let's hear what that sounds like. And now the dynamic reverb. To be perfectly honest with you, they both sound good. It'll probably take me listening back to like editing this video and hearing it back to me to hear the differences and the different nuances and what I prefer. And if I close my eyes, or rather, how about forget that. If you just gave me both sounds and told me pick between one of these sounds and use it for the rest of your life, I'd be fine using either one of them, or at the very least use it for this recording session or this particular gig or whatever. I wouldn't have any problems using either sound. So I'm not hearing the differences quite yet right here, right now. What I am hearing is that I'm super impressed with the dynamic reverb. I think it's a great addition to the reverb sounds that the HX Stomp offers, or more specifically line 6. So if you are on the fence about some of the lush reverb tones that line 6 offers, I would say no need to hesitate. They definitely have it covered. I know that these are some of the most cleanest sounds that I've ever gotten, specifically because I'm able to route my reverb and delays where I want them. So obviously this is just a brief first impressions. I'm gonna dive into this thing a little bit more in another video very, very soon. I'm not gonna have you wait too long for it, but I think it's wise if I just kind of pay attention to some of the nuances and the details that I'm changing, and then I'll make a more detailed video and add it to the How I Use It series. So I guess to wrap this whole thing up, I'm impressed. Heavily impressed. Definitely think it's a usable sound, and I can't wait to just mess with it a little bit more to get it to my liking. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do all of the things that help this channel grow. Like this video, comment and subscribe below. Hit the bell icon so you get an alert every single time I upload a video. And don't forget, if you do want to donate to this channel, it would be greatly appreciated. There is a donation link in the description box below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.